And I are going to just talk to you today about all the things. So, do you want to introduce yourself?
If you don't already know me, I'm Jason McCarroll.
And I would like to say I'm Sarah McCarroll, but I'm still Sarah Garino. So we are going to. We're married.
Newly. It's fresh.
It's fresh. But the name thing is still not decided on, okay? So we decided to come on here because so many questions have been asked in the messages and in life, and they want to know all the things about how we met, what happened in my previous relationship, what happened in his previous relationship. So we're going to be very respectful of our past, as everyone should be, but we are going to just kind of start with some of the questions I've been asked. I'm going to answer some things instead of having a million private conversations, and chime in at any point, because sometimes I'm jabberjaws over here, and
Well, Jabberjaws is a lot more information, so
Yeah.
we'll be giving you all the things.
Yes,
so-
we're gonna give you all the things. I feel like that's gonna fall off.
There we
No,
go.
you can keep it up there, but it's like on the edge. Okay, so to start off, my past, I've dated a lot. I've never been married. I'm 43. I actually turned 43 on our wedding day.
That's right. It's a big day.
On the 21st, so just a few days ago. And I think in the past I've forced my relationships so much because I wanted something to work so badly. And that's one of the reasons why Jason and I were talking about doing this video and potentially doing others, because there are so many messages I receive from women who are in the shoes I was in, and they're still there. And just a lot of feedback, a lot of questions, a lot of just emotions wrapped up in being in midlife, still being single, still craving to find your person. And so we have such a powerful story, and I don't share very much of my personal life on social media because I'm here to provide value. And, because of that, I keep a lot close to me, and I also want to protect the people that I love, and don't want to put too much out there. But anyhow, so my past, dated a lot. I was actually engaged a few years ago to someone who I thought was the right person, but quickly after engagement hit, I think reality set in, and all of the things popped up, the things that just didn't align with my values, my lifestyle, and we just weren't the right fit, okay? The long and the short of it, we weren't the right fit. And so many people kept saying, it's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. You guys are entirely different. Your passions are different. It's just very difficult. So anyhow, that's what happened there. I knew for a long time it just was not a healthy relationship. And I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of all the stories, but I was my worst self. So I'm here to tell you, if you're in a relationship and you feel you are your worst self, which, do you agree? Do you feel like you were your best self in your last relationship, or did it start good and then it went bad?
It started fine, and then it eventually just rolled into, this is not who I am. This is not what I want for the rest of my life. And when kids get involved in everything, you continue to find ways to try and make it work and find every avenue to, be right for the family and the kids' best development. And I just couldn't hold on anymore.
Yeah, and again, we're not throwing anyone under the bus. We're not pointing fingers here, because relationships, it's a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that sometimes initially it's okay, and then you throw life into the mix, stressors, finances, schedules, and it either works because you work together and everything's great, or you become at each other's throats and you cannot come to a common middle ground with pretty much anything. And so I think we both share that in the past. We both agree we were our worst selves in our relationship, and that's not fair to anyone, including the children involved. And so I have a daughter, and she is from a relationship that was a very, very short relationship. Again, being very respectful of her father, but it was not really a long relationship. I got pregnant very quickly on. So she is the number one blessing in my life. I mean, he obviously is as well, but she's my blood, she's my heart, she's my everything. And so I wouldn't change it for the world, but I was never married to him. And so she has been along for this bumpy ride of mine. And I think because I have a child, I was viewing each and every relationship as an opportunity to find a family. I need someone who's potentially going to give me another child, because full transparency, that's why we're here, is to be keeping it real. I wanted to have another baby. So when I started dating this person in my past, and all the people before, I was looking for someone who wanted to give me another child, wanted to have a family dynamic. I was looking for someone who already had a kid, someone who's financially stable, someone who, we could be a family unit. Instead of focusing on how do I feel around this person, do we share a lot of common interests? And so I feel like when you do involve kids, whether it's you are in a relationship that you already have kids with your spouse, or you're bringing kids into a new relationship and now you're kind of playing family, it almost makes it that much more difficult to get out of, right?
Yeah, I mean, everything you shared with me, it's starting to become like a family. And it's like, oh, now what do I do? I'm not feeling this, but I'm going to try and do everything I can to make it work for the kids, because there's another child involved too.
Yeah, exactly. And so on paper, I was telling Jason that I did all this manifestation before my last relationship. And then on paper, everyone, you hear people say this, on paper, everything is perfect. On paper, but why do I not feel the way that I feel I should feel with my significant other, with my soon-to-be spouse or my current spouse? And so I feel, if any of you are out there manifesting, we don't need to be manifesting like the check marks of the things that he needs to possess. It's the way that you want to feel around that person. I think we get caught up in all of the things. I want them to be tall, dark, handsome, financially set, funny.
I think you're describing me.
I mean, my love. I mean, we are. But we don't focus on the feelings. So anyhow, I always say long story short, but I just blab on and on and on. So my thing to get out of the relationship, it was tough. It was very toxic. I tried many times. I tried for probably a year and a half to end it. And we just kept going in, out. And again, not pointing fingers, but it was extremely toxic. And I hated myself. I would tell people, I hate myself because I can't shit or get off the pot. Like, I blame myself because I would even be away for a couple days and then, there would be communication and then I would just go right back, even though I was miserable. It was like the same thing. There was no way that the other person was in a good place. So
even with your friends coaching you through this, you just kept going back. It was almost, you just couldn't see the flags or just couldn't really make a decision, even though everybody was in your court supporting you, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to tell how I actually made that jump. But before I do, would you like to share anything about your situation and how you came to the decision? And Jason has 5 children, okay? So tell him a little bit about your kids.
So yeah, five wonderful children, was married for around 14 years. And but right about 29, 30 is when I got married. And it was a long relationship, traveled a lot for my business. So when you're in a relationship and you're traveling and working a lot, I think it takes a lot longer to see things if something's going awry, because it's, oh, I'm back, I'm playing dad, we're dating, whatever. And you just kind of shove things under the rug. And that's kind of what I was doing for many years. There's problems, then it kind of get better. And it's like, well, I'm traveling for business all the time. My kids are at home. I want to see my kids. My focus is there. Try and work on the relationship, go back on the road. And did that rinse and repeat for many years. And it just got to the point where, is this really how I want to live the rest of my life? Because I'm coming home, I'm unhappy. I feel that I just want to get everything done at the house to go back to work. And if anybody feels that way, you shouldn't live that way, because it was making me toxic. And I was the best version of myself for my kids. I mean, arguing with their mother in front of the kids, it's nothing that any kid should have to witness. I witnessed it. I was from broken homes as a child, lived in an orphanage or a boys' home, and I was put into at 12. So I always wanted to be the best version of myself for my kids. That was always my number one thing, and I wasn't. But in the relationship I am now and the person I became, I feel like I'm the best version. I'm not there all the time. I have to travel to see my kids. But back to what Sarah was saying earlier, if you want something to work, you will find a way. And I think that's, the love, respect that we have for each other and listening and communicating, because we both want to make it work. And I love it. You and Presley come to visit my kids as much as possible, and we get them up here as much as we can, and it works fantastic because we work on it, we communicate, and we find a way to make it work.
Absolutely. Well, and I think, the resentment that can build over time, I think it's really important. If you find there are little things, it's extremely important you nip that in the bud and you don't push it under the rug, because when it compounds, it's the death of any relationship. I don't care if you're married, engaged, if you're not. And I think that situation has happened in both of our relationships and many of my friends' relationships. So.
Oh, I'm guilty. I will just suck it up, eat it, and then eventually it'll just all come out. And it's not the best way to do it.
Yeah. So for me, okay, everyone wants to know, how did it happen? What actually made you jump? And Jason and I also say that we are designed for one another, okay? We are soulmates, and I know people can say what they want to say. Oh, they've just been together for less than 2 years. Okay, you just wait. Let me tell you, my friends, when you're in your 40s, you have kids, you've got businesses, you've had past relationships, you've traveled, you've experienced death, you've experienced success, failures. We're past the whole of you just wait. Like, we have experienced everything from home renovations to children to exes not getting along, like the whole kit and caboodle. So what we do believe and what is true is that if you are willing to take the leap of faith, you are not going to live in fear. You're not going to let fear stop you from exiting something that is not healthy. You will be rewarded significantly, okay? And I firmly believe I would not have been blessed with Jason, who is honestly my perfect match. You are a soulmate, yes, but we say the same things at the same time. We are thinking what the other person is saying before they say it. It just jives. And there's not one person in my life that's not said that. Same goes for you. I mean, when they see us together, they're like, yes, this is what
They just say this makes sense.
It makes sense, okay? So again, if you are fearful, if you're in a relationship and you are staying because you're terrified, it might take so long for me to reach or to meet someone new. And what if that new person is worse than the person I'm with now? Don't live in the comparison world ever. Do not stay because you're fearful of, I might not ever find anyone again. You will. If you give up all of that and you know that it's not for you, don't just let go of something that you can work on. Clearly work on it. I tried to work on it for years and it was not good. And I think you tried to work on it for a while. I mean, so either way, God rewards those who do not live in fear, basically.
Yeah.
So I needed to get out of the toxic relationship. I tried multiple times. One night, I am telling you, I was led by a higher power, and he was telling me, because I did not want to date anyone for a long time, and ask anyone that I know, I said, I just want to get out of this toxicity, and I want to be alone. I love being alone.
Not anymore.
Yeah. I told Jason, I was like, my favorite thing is when my daughter is the one night a week that she's with her dad, and I don't have her, in the evening, and I'm not going over to the person's house. I'm by myself. That's when I feel the most calm, the most complete. Now when I'm alone, if he's traveling, I feel scared. I'm instantly a little girl. I'm I don't want to be here. This is the worst thing ever. And I've never been that way. So anyhow, one night I was possessed by something to get on Hinge. Yes, dating sites work, my friends. And I said, I'm going to do a 7-day trial. I don't even know what I'm doing. Like my fingers were working and my brain was like, stop. Why? We don't want a relationship. You don't need a relationship. We are in no way, shape, or form ready for a relationship. But I did it. And I said, I am not dating someone long distance. I'm not even dating someone who's outside of a 20-mile radius. So I did it 20 miles. And I said, if they got more than 2 kids, I ain't having it. And so I get on there, nothing. Like, I mean, the people, if you know what I'm saying, okay? If you've been there, you've done that, you're terrified, quite terrified. And so I extended it a little bit further, and it wasn't until I extended it all the way, I saw a man in a tutu golfing. Okay, he was wearing a red tutu.
It's the only way to play.
Yes, and he was golfing. And then, of course, I'm looking at the other pictures. I see one of him on the beach. I see one of him with his buddies at the golf tournament. So I'm like, okay, he's got friends. They look normal. That is good. He does things for donations. That's good. He has a sense of humor because he's got a tutu on. That's what I'm talking about. I needed to laugh, and that's really all that I was looking for. And so I commented I hearted.
You did.
I hearted the picture. He reached out to me and he said, so have you ever golfed in a tutu before? And I said, well, that's the only way.
That's right.
Okay, so tell them about your length of time on there. So
wasn't on long. I mean, it was probably the winter before I met you. So let's say November, December.
Yeah.
Met you in March.
Yeah.
So very, very couple dates prior to Christmas, and then just kind of shut it down a little bit, and then went on dates in January and February, and I was basically done. And dates were fine. The people I met were great. No disasters. I mean, I hear disaster stories all the time. You've told me disaster stories after disaster story. So no disaster stories. People were great. Just wasn't for me, and I had minimized my range. So I had a big range because I travel and I cover a lot of areas. So for me to travel is not a big deal. So if it was Indianapolis, Louisville, Lexington, Columbus, it really didn't matter. But I reduced the range. She expands the range, and we meet, and I was like, I minimized this like last week. So how did she slip through? And I'm looking at it, and I was like, no. I was like, I've been on a couple long distance dates. This is not for me. I'm basically done with the whole process. And really, I was traveling in Milwaukee, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna message her back. I'm gonna see this through. Something was talking to her, something was talking to me, and we'll have to put a picture up of it. But there's like this like zodiac sign thing at the hotel I was at. It's like a dark room with a table, and it spins. And I was like, well, I'll just kind of use this as like a fortune cookie kind of moment. So I sat on this thing, spun it, and it said, absolutely, reach back out. This is your person. I was like, I know it sounds cliche, it sounds weird, but this is what we did. I even sent her a video of the room that I did this in.
And we are not that type of people. Like, we're not, we're gonna see the vibrations of the universe. Like, that's not us, but he did it, yeah.
I did it, and I think I started sending you some audio messages, and I had never sent an audio message before either.
Well, let's be clear. I sent him the first audio message.
Correct.
Because I needed to hear the man's voice. I need to see how he can handle communication. Does he stutter? Is he articulate? Is he funny? Does he sound like he's got a high-pitched voice that I'm going to be really annoyed with? I mean, that's just what it was. But he brought it. He brought it.
Yeah, well, I did. I wanted to match the energy.
Yeah.
And it was very special that when we both talked about it, we're like, no way, you expanded it. I'm trying to decrease the range. I'm done. You're just getting out here for, you said 7 days, I'm done.
Oh, yeah. So it was day 2, I think. Oh, no, maybe it was day 1. I think it was day 1.
You hearted like the first day, and then I saw it in the morning.
Yes. So that's how it started. And then I told him straight up, listen, I said, I am not looking for a relationship. I don't even know why I'm on here. I am fresh out of an engagement, even though it was like a year and a half before, but I was in and out, in and out, in and out. And it was, again, I was trying to be distracted. I was not on here for a rebound because I did not want a relationship. And I told him that. And he was like, wow, that's a lot of information. Thank you for telling me. And he's like, well, my divorce is not final, so that works for me. And I said, but I'm going to be clear, I'm not looking for a hookup either.
No, you made that very apparent.
I said, I am just looking I said, I'm just looking for a good time,
It,
okay?
it was like good communication, dinner, drink something, just very non-committal. I just want to meet people.
Yeah, I just want to,
And not hook up.
And not hook up. I said, I am like, no, I'm like in my 40s. I'm not trying to be doing all that. I said, but I want to like laugh and have a good time. And so, and if it works with my schedule, because I have my daughter so much, I'm not going to ever get a babysitter. But if it works out on the nights that I don't have her, let's do it. So he's in Cincinnati. He was in Cincinnati. I'm in Columbus. And so we talked for 2 weeks. It was just
every day.
But instantly, the next morning when we exchanged phone numbers, 5 a.m., we didn't realize it, but like 5 a.m. we're both up. Like we have the same schedule. We're both passionate about pretty much all of the same things. And there's a little, here, I'm gonna put this down here and try to prop this up. We're gonna move this because we've got a low battery. But anyhow, so tell them about our first date.
So first date was originally we tried to get the weekend before.
I'm just gonna try to move this here.
We originally tried to get the weekend before, was that right? And then something with soccer schedule came up, I believe, because Presley had been, scheduled for soccer.
Yep.
And so I was like, no big deal. So we'll just move it to the next weekend, which we did. And then I think we were scheduled for Friday. You're like, hey, soccer schedule again. It's like, great, we'll do it Saturday. I'll be up and, you like your fish. So I was like, well, we'll find something close to her home, make it, where I'm not making her travel.
Yeah. So, I mean, right away, I realized that this man is super flexible. I mean, all the children, he has 2 sets of twins, by the way, and 13-year-old twins, boy, girl, then an 8-year-old, he just turned 8, 8-year-old son, and then boy, twins who are about to turn 7.
Correct.
So yes, a lot going on, and he was still able to make it work. So I'm like, wow, this is like a doer. He's not a talker, he's a doer, which I'm used to a lot of talk, okay? And these are questions that people ask me, but I don't think I need it anymore. So yeah, basically we went out, we had like a 3-part first date. We went to Ocean Club, which is fantastic. He sat right next to me, and that's how we've done it ever since.
And you said you've never done that before.
Never done it. And honestly, I've looked at other couples that do it, and I'm like, oh my God, what are they doing? They look just stupid. Like, yeah, come on.
That's all we were doing.
But I find that I would do things like that and say things like that because I was unhappy. You don't realize how much ridicule you give other people because it's a direct reflection of your situation and your unhappiness. I mean, that's the long and the short of it. Same goes when anyone ridicules someone's body. They're insecure about their own body. I mean, it's what it is. So we went there, then we went to
the comedy club,
and then we went from there and we went dancing at a country bar. And then we came back to my place, and no hanky-panky happened. He was such a gentleman. And so then the next day, he calls me because he knew that I didn't have my daughter that Sunday. And he's like, hey, I'm with my kids today, but I won't have them tonight if you want me to come back up. And then I was like, whoa, a stage 5 clinger.
Wow.
I told you.
Well, I felt bad because, you woke up a little slow. We had some drinks. And I was like, maybe we just do a movie and some takeout. I mean, I did not expect to stay. I didn't even expect to stay when I came up.
Yeah.
But I just really wanted to, I just felt bad that you drank more than you usually do.
I'm being silly, but in that world, I was like, whoa, I just told him that, I don't know, he could be a lunatic. He could be a stage 5 clinger. I didn't know you. So I'm like, I'm going to pump the brakes on this one, even though I really did have a good time. It was a great first date, but I don't know. So then we saw each other. Okay, so the truth is I was in my own head and I was still dealing with other things about like closing down and did I transition because I was starting to like him a lot. But this man was so patient with me and he just kept validating my feelings and saying, I'm not going to rush anything. If you want me to leave you alone, I will, but I don't want to. I can just sit back and, be patient with the process. So
yeah, I think I was like, we can proceed at the speed that makes you most comfortable, I think was the exact words.
Yes, yeah.
I was like, as long as we can just continue to communicate openly, I'm not talking or seeing anybody else. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
But just let me know where you are in this process, and I'd love to work with you on it. And at any time that this isn't working, just be honest with me, and we'll move on.
But that is what, again, I say repeatedly to women who ask me about my situation and Jason, and the whole thing is, again, on paper, because I think part of me was like, whoa, wait a second here. I'm developing feelings for this man who, on paper, it doesn't make any sense at all. Like, he is 2 hours away. I don't have the time to be going back and forth all the time, nor desire. And he's got 5 kids. That's a lot of things to juggle. And I would never say baggage, because they're incredible, and it's what you've created. They're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot. And so again, here my mind's spiraling, but then had I closed down things because on paper it didn't look right and it looked like it would have been difficult, I would have missed out on the love of my life, literally. So that's, again, something that I feel the message needs to get out there, because I used to focus so much of like what the non-negotiables are, and through hell or high water, nope, you know. And I think on social media or dating apps online, it's so easy to just say, nope, he didn't. Like, give the person a chance and listen to how your heart feels.
Yeah, you opened up and you started operating without fear.
Yeah. And then once I just kind of let down my walls, it was an instant to where we both fell in love very quickly. He told me, do you want to tell them the story how you told me?
Sent you a music video or music thing for Whitesnake Is This Love.
Whitesnake, yes. So we were together that day, and then he was driving back to Cincinnati, and then I went out to my parents' house with my daughter, and I was feeling all the love. And of course, you know, I was not.
We were tiptoeing around it with hearts and kissy, whatever, all the little emojis you could have out there. So we were tiptoeing around it.
Yeah. And then he sends me this. Did you preface it with something like, I may not, or I want to share something, but maybe I can't remember.
Yeah, I kind of framed it in that way.
Yeah. I want to send you something.
Yeah, I want to send you something. And then I was with the kids going to Kings Island. So, you know, I was paying attention to them. You're at your parents' house, and then you're showing the phone to your sister, like, oh my, he loves me.
Yeah.
And
so the song was Whitesnake Is This Love. And so I saw it and I'm like, oh, yes, it is. Is it? And then I said, well, let's talk about this when we're going to be together next weekend, because I want to talk about it in person. I don't want to say anything right now, but I said, but the answer is yes. The answer is yes.
Yes, I do remember that.
And so that was cute. And then, of course, I actually was the one that told him that I loved him first, because you were too shy.
I wasn't shy.
Too shy.
Hey, I was the one that was doing all the pursuing at the beginning, so I had to get through the feels. So,
all right. So that's how. And what month was that? I don't even remember. It was
July.
Was it July?
June, July. Yeah.
Okay. And then so he moved in with Presley and I. His contract rent, his lease was up, because obviously he moved out of his house, beautiful home, trying to figure out what the heck he was doing next. So he was in an apartment for a year. Then he moved in November. And then we obviously were talking like we're going to get married at some point, but his divorce needed to be final, obviously being very respectful of that process. And then in March, our year anniversary, we got tattoos. So I got a J, it's probably upside down. He got Sarah.
There we go.
Sarah. And that was his very first tattoo.
That's right.
So, and then we got engaged at my favorite place on earth. It's where my family and I go on vacation every year, and have been since I was 13 years old. So this past end of May, was it end of May? What was the date? I know, we should.
I look at the calendar, I can find it, yes.
I mean, so we're not dates people. I mean, that's, another reason why I was like, let's just get married on my birthday. Okay.
Right.
No, so we were engaged, and it was, again, very intimate, just the two of us. There was no cameraman. It wasn't like a big production. We were walking on the beach just the two of us before a storm came in, and he hid the ring in his swimsuit pants, and then, or in his, what do you call them? Trunks?
Swim trunks.
Swim trunks. Swimsuit pants. And it was beautiful. And so, yeah.
It was very intimate. I mean, it was great. We beat the storm.
Yes. So that was great. We celebrated with my family after, kind of. I mean, in all transparency, okay, because this is what we're here for.
Right, both girls got rings, so Presley got a ring that day too.
Yeah, but Presley was feeling a certain way. You know, she was 8 at the time. She obviously loves Jason, but she was just having an emotional time. So, I mean, again,
It's normal.
this is life. Not everything's going to be rainbows and sunshine, but everything is great. She, you know, she's all good. We're all, you know, a happy little family.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets along with his sons so well. So they basically come every other weekend. We go there to watch their games. He's there like twice a week. I mean, Jason is a trooper. And that's the only reason that this actually has worked, because he's given up so much of his time to drive back and forth and back and forth. I mean, you say that you don't mind it, but I mean, for his work, I mean, tell them.
Yeah, so I mean, I cover 15 states with my job. So traveling for me over the last 22 years isn't a whole lot. But I wanted this so bad. We wanted this so bad. And if you want to make it work, like we talked about earlier, you always find a way. So, you know, getting and working with my kids' schedules and everything, it's actually the joy of my life. I mean, I get to see all the people I love all the time. So it's almost like Christmas morning, and that's a term that her and I use a lot.
Yeah.
But it's Christmas for me all the time. I get to go see my son play football tomorrow. It's going to be great. My daughter cheers for my son. It's fantastic having twins with that, you know, bilateral, you know, support that they have for each other. So we don't really miss anything. We make all their events. Every once in a while, I've got to travel during the week and I can't see somebody. And then we work around the schedule that, you know, Sarah has with Presley's father. And we get plenty of date nights, family time, seeing my kids, family vacations. We just find a way because we want it to work and we communicate wonderfully.
Yeah. But I mean, he's pulled I did travel before you moved here. I mean,
Absolutely.
I came, I would say, I mean, I don't know, every other weekend, every other week. I'd go out there.
Once or twice a month, you'd come down, depending on what the schedules look like. And then Presley was starting to come down, and she was comfortable.
But I mean, he was here, there, everywhere. So I mean, honestly, had that not been the case, this would have been a very big struggle. So
I would even come up just for lunch.
I know.
And then I would go home.
I know.
And then come back maybe 2 days later.
And again, that's what I'm talking about. A doer over here. And luckily he can get a lot of work done in the car, on calls, but ultimately, you guys, nothing's ever going to be perfect. Nothing's ever going to be acceptable for everyone. That was something, you know, obviously I start dating a man that lives out of town, that's got 5 kids, and everyone, including my parents initially, like, well, when does he see his kids? Like, what does this mean? Did he just jump ship on his kids and his family? And so again, you're going to have questions. People, if they don't know, they feel uncomfortable with it, they're going to ask questions for whatever reason they want to. And it doesn't mean that should make you put up flags and think like, oh, I need to reevaluate this. Just answer the questions and move on. You know what is right. You know the person you're with. And now everyone's like, oh my gosh, like he's the best human ever. My parents are like, we couldn't be more thrilled about your choice. And he's just, again,
I couldn't get luckier with her parents. I mean, her parents are fantastic. Love them to death. But yes, they've been so accepting and understanding of the situation. And yeah, they had all the normal questions anybody would have. You have 5 kids. When you see your kids, if you're with my daughter all the time, and then once we started explaining to them how the schedule works and what we do, they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And it made, especially her father, a lot more comfortable.
Yeah. And again, Italian man who was living on his own when he was even in high school. So this man wants to know that I'm with a man who's going to get shit done. He's going to do the things he says he's going to do when he says he's going to do it, and then some, and then not even have to say what he's going to do, and then he does it. And that's this man right here. Like, it's unbelievable. And we both are that way. We're both doers. We're both like, if we got extra time, we're not laying on the couch. We are being productive.
We have a couch?
I know. We have the biggest couch in the world. Yes, we do.
Well, yeah, everyone's got a seat when all 6 kids are here.
Yes. So ultimately we decided, yes, we want to get married. I said my birthday has been I don't want to say curse, but it has not been a good day. And I spent it in couples therapy when I turned 40, or was it 41? Either way, not a way to spend a birthday. And then there's been, just years that I haven't done anything. People forgot, like the whole thing. I mean, I'm no different than most people out there, I'm sure. But I wanted to rewrite my story, and I wanted to have love to celebrate every year. So we did it here. If you didn't know, you can have someone come to your home who's ordained, get it done in 10 minutes. We're going to have a celebration next year. We're going to have all the people. My daughter didn't really want to be included, neither did his kids, because they want to do something. They want to be the ring bearer. They want to be the flower girl. They want to actually participate. So that's going to come next year. But even then, we're just doing something small because we want to go on a very nice trip together.
Oh, that's going to happen.
Yes. And we've spent a lot of time and a lot of money in this beautiful home of ours. So we wanted to do that, build it together, and or I should say renovate. But I mean, we're changed,
basically building.
Yeah, we changed pretty much everything in here. So yeah, it was a beautiful way that it all came together. And if any of you have any questions, please let us know. But I know that there are going to be a few of you ladies out there who are still looking, praying, hoping to find the love of your life. And I tell you, if you continue spending more time with the wrong person, it's not going to open you up to the right person.
And I think it's nice because so many people, a number of women have reached out to you like, oh, this is giving me a lot more faith, more hope. I'm not going to give up on my dreams. And I mean, it makes us feel great, especially you, because this is your business and this is what you try to do.
Yeah.
And it's been fantastic with all the love and support you had from everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, if you're in a relationship, do everything in your power to salvage that, to save it, to work on it. But if you know that ship has sailed, stop spinning your wheels and don't say that you're staying for the children, because children should not grow up witnessing an unhealthy relationship. They should not mimic that unhealthy relationship as they get older and the bad habits and cycles repeat. We're on this planet for a very short period of time, and I think we should do everything in our power to be happy. Not everyone needs a relationship to be happy, but I do feel love fulfills the void and brings happiness and joy to so many people. So,
and it is hard leaving the kids, and I can tell you unequivocally, I'm a better father. I'm more present when I'm around my kids because I'm not dealing with all the other stress and things around it, so I can actually be the dad I always wanted to be.
Yeah.
And yes, it might be limited sometimes because of sharing time and having to travel to get there, but I try and be as present for them as possible. And the other thing I want to share is, every situation is different, but what you're not changing, you're choosing. And I think if you really say that to yourself, like, am I really choosing this lifestyle and this is what my life's going to look like? Really, really evaluate it. Yeah, try and make everything work for the kid's best interest. But if it's just inevitable that it's just never going to get any better and it's been like this for months, years, you're choosing that life, and there's better life out there. We only get one life to live, so make the best of it.
Absolutely. All right, friends, thanks for listening to our story. Have a good day.